स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar my dear friends, I am going to start videos on Sadhaka Sanjivani by Swami Ramsukhdasji Maharaj. Swami Ramsukhdasji was a great exponent of Vedic literature of Sanatana Dharma. He was of the category of Maharishi Ramana and Brahmansa Ramakrishna. He was a very learned person and his commentary on Bhagavad Gita is wonderful. I have started the videos on Sadhaka Sanjivani of Swami Ramsukhdasji in both English as well as Hindi. So all my brothers who understand English, they can avail my videos on English language, and those who understand Hindi, they can watch my videos on Sadhak Sanjivani in Hindi. So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita holds an incomparable and unique position in world literature. It recalls the divine voice of Lord Krishna, through which many of his mysteries and inner secrets are revealed. In communicating these for the benefit of mankind, the Lord has invoked Arjuna as an interlocutor or questioner. The small book full of the Lord's extraordinary thoughts and views from the very heart was never excelled in the past nor would ever be in the future. Our revered Param Sardhya Sri Swami Ramsukhdasji has delved deep into the bottomless depth of this profound scripture and extracted invaluable gems which in his magnanimity he has through his commentary in Hindi called Sadhaka Sanjivani offered for the benefit and spiritual advancement of aspirants. It is obvious that this commentary is singularly different and distinctive in many respects from other publications. Though we claim no far-reaching study of other critics and annotations, yet we are struck by new interpretations, new meanings, and new revelations in this commentary, arising from many verses such as chapter 1, verses 10, 19, 20, and 25, chapter 2, verses 39 and 40, chapter 3, verses 3, 10, 12, 13, and 43, chapter 4, 18, and 38, chapter 5, verses 13 and 14, chapter 6, verses 20 and 38, chapter 7, verses 5 and 19, chapter 8, verses 6, chapter 9, verses 3 and 31, chapter 10, verses 41, chapter 11, verses 26, 27, 45, and 46, chapter 12, verses 12, and chapter 13, verses 1, 19, 20, and 21, chapter 14, verses 3, 12, 17, and 21, chapter 15, verses 7 and 11, chapter 16, verses 5 and 20, chapter 17, verses 7 and 10, chapter 18, verses 37 and 73, etc. We are confident that with an in-depth study of the commentary, aspirants would discover many different facets and resolutions from these and other verses for their better understanding and help in forging ahead with their sadhana. In the present times, unfortunately, there is a dearth of books which would in simple language and with lucidity explain and delineate the correct path and milestones of an aspirant's progress, and this void often results in their predicament. Therefore, the publication of a detailed commentary in plain words and simple style with clarity and offering elucidation and explanation such as this work is at once a most welcome and important step. Swamiji Maharaj's commentary is apparently neither intended to promote a new or particular philosophical viewpoint nor in the least it means to display learning, but that it should and would act as a life-giving boon like the Sanjivani herb for all aspirants, no matter which creed, faith, religion, or language or place they belong to. The Buddhist, Jain, Parsi, Muslim, Christian, and others, etc. In studying this book would discover in it a basis for their advancement in accordance with and supportive of the tenets of their individual faiths or religions, and they would find enough material in this book to help achieve their spiritual goals. To gain spiritual bliss, we humbly urge aspirants to study the commentary deeply and sincerely understand the writing and endeavor to put into practice the contents for their own forward and progress in the world. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Sadhaka Sanjivani with commentary by Sardhya Sri Ramsukhdasji Maharaj in its English version has on all hands been an outstanding and much appreciated exposition of the divine and immortal work. It has been reprinted before and is now ready for another printing. Time was therefore opportune for a revision of this masterly, analytical, and exhaustive commentary, so that, if necessary, clarity and amplify comments in order to enhance its understanding and gainful usefulness. The result may be called a revision or a mere new work. It is a revision in much it retains the basic concept, approach, and arguments of the first edition. What is new, however, is the elucidation and precise explanation of some comments in English in order to eliminate any possible ambiguity or loss of clarity. It is in this light that changes made must be read. The amendments are unpretentious and are intended to make reading easy. The book is at the same time somewhat new in as much as an opportunity has been taken importantly to include with the approval of the author Sardhya Sri Ramsukhdasji Maharaj two additional and valuable appendices at the end of the commentary on the Gita. The first appendix, entitled A Bird's Eye View of the Gita, is a summarized essence of the scripture, highlighting its core and offering a capsulized version for quick comprehension and ready reference. The second appendix covers the traditional and other suggested methods of recitation of the Gita to help devotees to seek and achieve spiritual benefits of worship through the Gita. Both these sections were authored by Sardhya Sri Ramsukhdasji Maharaj and originally included in his monumental and celebrated book The Gita Darpan, The Gita a Mirror, and published by the Gita Press. The publishers are confident that the changes effected would make this revised edition of the Bhagavad Gita Sadhaka Sanjivani of greater interest to the English readers and would be acclaimed by them. This edition makes it still more comprehensive, more meaningful, and beneficial for aspirants of spiritual elevation as to students of the Gita as well as to perspicacious members of different creeds and faiths, ideologies, and religions interested in this unique and secular publication, the words of God. May the publishers urge the readers to study this revised edition of the Gita with deep profundity and put into creative practice the knowledge gained with a view to their advancement in the world. Forward. Vansidharam Totardharam Namami Manoharam Moharam Chay Krishnam Maladharam Dharam Dhurandharam Cha Parthasya Sarthakaram Cha Devam Kartavya Diksham Chay Samtav Shiksham Jnanasya Diksham Sarnagatim Chay Dadati Gita Karunadribhuta Krishnena Gita Jagato Hitaya संजीवनी साधक जीवनियम प्राप्ति हर्रैवर प्रवृत्ति करोति दुरम प्रवृत्ति विघ्न बाधा ददाति शीघ्रम प्रमातम सिद्धिम. I bow down to Krishna, the divine, the flute holder, holder of the reins, the usurper of hearts and infatuation, the wearer of garlands, the holder of the axis of dharma, and the charioteer of Arjuna. Sung by Lord Krishna, the Gita, drenched in ambrosial compassion, is the provider of initiation into duty, lessons of equanimity, arms of enlightenment and surrender, and is for the welfare of mankind. Bestower of the gifts of life, the Sadhaka Sanjivani tells in simple terms the art of realizing Hari. It also removes the obstacles in the path and quickly gives the supreme accomplishment of God realization. By meditating and contemplating on the Gita and by preparing this commentary, I have been very much spiritually benefited. I also have a clear understanding of the subject matter of Gita. It is my firm conviction that if our brothers and sisters reflect on it, they will also receive spiritual benediction. I do not have even an iota of doubt about it that by meditating and contemplating on the Gita, great benefits would accrue to them. Krishna Anugrahadaika Se Karuna Gita Samaradhita Karam Gyan Virag Bhakti Rasika मर्मार्थ सदर्शिका शोधकंठम किलम साधक अनुदिनम पेपीयमाना सदा कल्याणम परदेव तेव दिशति संजीवनी वर्धिताम. May by the grace of Lord Krishna, the adorer and seeker of Gita, that is full of compassion, the knower of the truth of karma, action, jnana, knowledge, viraga, renunciation, and bhakti, devotion, reflecting the shower of subtle and deep meanings, be sought and enjoyed with enthusiasm by seekers, and the granter of Kalyana, the Supreme Lord. May this Sadhaka Sanjivani continually promote and perpetuate spiritual benefits in a seeker's life. Yoga of Gita. The word yoga of the Gita is pregnant with many wonderful meanings. We can place these under three heads. Number one, derived from the root yujur yoga. Yujur yoga, the word yoga has the implied meaning eternal kinship with equanimous Samrup, God as an Sammarvan Yoga Uchayate. This meaning has importance in the Gita. Number two, originating from the root use samadhan. The word yoga implies stability of chitta, that is state of trance during meditation, as in yatro pramate chittam niruddham yoga swe. 3. Deduced from the root yuj samyamane. The word yoga means controlling power, divine prowess, magnetic impact, as in pashyami, yogam, sarvam, etc. Whenever the word yoga has appeared in the Gita, it has in it the primacy of one of the aforesaid three meanings, the other two meanings having a secondary place only, as in the word yoga derived from yujur yoga, there is predominance of the meaning of equanimity, though on realization of equanimity, meditational stability and divine prowess also accrue automatically. In the word yoga from yuj samadhau, There is the supremacy of transcendental stability, but on achievement of this state, equanimity and prowess follow automatically. In the word yoga from yuj samane, there is the dominance of divine prowess and majesty, but on realization of this prowess, equanimity and stability also follow suit on their own. Thus the word yoga of the Gita has very pervasive and profound meanings. In the Yoga Darshana of says Patanjali, the word yoga is the name given to the control of chitta vrittis, mental tendencies and mind stuff from taking various forms. Yoga's chit nirodha, and the effect of that yoga has been pointed out as the lodgment of drashta, the witness in one's own self, tada drashtuhu savrupe vastadhanam. In this way, the very result of yoga as depicted in the Yoga Darshana of Patanjali has been given the name yoga in the Gita. The implication is that the self-proved natural state of equanimity totally cut off from the Chitvirtij is called yoga by the Gita. On realizing lodgment in equanimity, eternal union, nitya yoga, there is never a disunion or deviation from it. There is a desireless transcendental state, nirvikalpa avastha, when there is control over mental tendencies. But on realization of equanimity, there is desireless transcendental awareness, nirvikalpa pravasthaya. This desireless transcendental awareness, nirvikalpa bodhe, is the illuminator of statelessness as well as of other states. For a seeker to have experience of equanimity or eternal union, three yoga ways have been expounded in the Gita: the path of action, the path of knowledge, and the path of devotion. There is an inalienable relationship with the three bodies, the gross, the subtle, and the causal, with the world. To employ these three in the service of others is the path of action. The realization of one's identity and lodgment within one's own self. After disassociating from these, it is the path of knowledge. And surrendering one's self to God is the path of devotion. In order to accomplish these yogas and attain one's salvation, man is endowed with three powers. Number one, power to act, strength. Number two, power to know, knowledge. And three, power to believe, faith. The power to act is for rendering service to the world selflessly, that is Karma Yoga. The power to know is meant for self-realization, that is Jnana Yoga. And the power to believe is unfathomable and illimitable, is the glory of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This holy book, the Bhagavad Gita, is counted among the scriptural trio, the Prasthanatraya. The three royal ways of welfare of mankind are known by the name of Prasthanatraya. One is the Vedic Prasthana called the Upanishad. The second is metaphysical or philosophical Prasthana called the Brahma Sutra. And the third is Samartha Prasthana called the Bhagavad Gita. There are mantras, mystical rubrics in the Upanishads, sutras, aphorisms in the Brahma Sutra, and slokas, verses in the Bhagavad Gita. Though the Bhagavad Gita has only sloka, yet these, being the very voice of God, are verily mantras pregnant as the slokas are with meaning and import of great profundity. These can be called sutras also. The Upanishads are of use and value for the deserving only, and the Brahma Sutras are of use and importance for men of erudition and learning. But the Bhagavad Gita is for one and all. The Bhagavad Gita is a most unusual and many-faceted scripture. It contains highly useful and detailed material for a seeker, be he of any country, costume, community, disposition, creed, varna, or any asrama. station in life. It is so because there is in it neither denunciation nor praise of any creed or denomination in particular. Instead, it deals with the essence of pure reality only. Pure reality, the Supreme Lord or Paramatma, as that which is wholly beyond change in nature and nature born things and is ever eternally immutable and uniform in the midst of the flux in space, time, things being circumstance, etc. Real Tattva essence is ever present in its perfect form in each man wherever and however he is, but that is not realized because of attachment and aversion, raga and the vesha, born of the changeable nature of things in a person. Only on achieving complete freedom from attachment and aversion, it is automatically realized and with ease. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita are singularly divine. Numerous commentaries have been written on it and several more are being written, yet new and fresh ideas continue to surge in the hearts and minds of saints, seers and sages of wisdom. However much thought may be given to this profound song celestial, the meaning and deeper implications thereof none can fathom in their entirety. The deeper they delve into, the more profound the meanings are to be found therein. When the range of their finer emotions of a learned person is not easily judged, how can then the magnitude of emotions encased in the words of God, whose forms and names are infinite, be ever assumed? There is such a uniqueness in this small-sized work that a real seeker of one's salvation, Kalyana, irrespective of Varna, asrama, nationality, creed, belief, etc., is at once attracted by the mere study of this treatise. If a man reads and grasps even a little from the sacred book, several satisfying disciplines or way becomes available to him for his life's fulfillment. Different authorities exist for the study of respective systems of philosophy, but the unique significance of the Gita is that all the seekers of salvation are eligible for its study. In explaining different disciplines, sadhana, and in communicating the meanings in detail, no hesitation was felt in repeating matters about each discipline in the Bhagavad Gita, and yet its size has not increased unduly. No single holy book of wisdom exists which expounds the full import of reality with such precision and prolification. A man with intense yearnings for his Kalyana goal can realize God had the supreme truth in to totally surrender to God after regarding God as one's own and one's own self as God's. This is Bhakti Yoga. He in whom interest to act dominates is qualified to adopt the path of action. He in whom inquisitiveness for self-realization dominates is eligible and qualified for the path of knowledge. He in whom faith and belief in God dominates is qualified for the path of devotion. All these three yoga paths are independent means of God realization. All other means are also implicit in these three paths. The main object of all the paths is to accomplish separation from oneself. However, there does remain a difference in these disciplines in attaining the separation, but after completing this breach with matter non-self, all means lead to realization of one equanimous supreme Godhead. This very realization of Paramatma Tattva, the Gita has called yoga, and verily this is called a Nitya Yoga, the eternal union. It is not right that there has been given only a description in the Gita of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga. Besides these three yoga, there is a description of yagna, sacrifice, dana, charity, tapa, penance, dhyana yoga, yoga of meditation, pranayama, control of breath, hatha yoga, austere discipline of body, etc. Laya yoga, yoga of rhythmic union. The reason for it is that Arjuna's questions in Gita are not about war but really about salvation. Lord Krishna's purpose in discoursing this Gita was not the conduct of war. Arjuna definitely wanted his salvation, therefore, as many means of his welfare, which has been reflected in the scriptures, have been with precision detailed in the Gita. Keeping in view all these means, the Gita is specially held in high esteem, the reason being that a seeker might belong to any belief, creed, or doctrine, but one's salvation is indeed dear and open to all. So I end this video here, and next video will continue. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video. Subscribe the channel. Namaskar my dear friends.